Welcome back, everyone, to Final Fantasy XIV. Once again, last time we left off, we were at the dungeon, the Either Font, where polar bears were so happy to be in an intro dungeon cinematic that they were happily clapping as the camera went through. But in either case, we're going to go ahead and continue on. To not only allow us to use the tanks, but to arrange their transportation to Galamad besides, blessed are we to count on Kokol among our allies. Unto thee we must also give thanks, Thancred, for coming to our aid on such short notice. Please, you know I'm always happy to help. Don't hesitate to call on me again. Till next time. With the tank's transportation thus arranged, our first task is complete. We must now turn our attention to the second. To wit, obtaining the blessing of the Isilbar contingent to use the Hallowed Babel to channel energy onto the moon. Our destination is Camp Broken Glass, where we may present our petition to Commander Lucia. Alright, we'll head on to Camp Broken Glass then. Hi. Now, allow me to personally thank you for your assistance during the recent Voidsent incursion. Your actions saved many. What brings you here today? Pray forgive us not sending word in advance, Commander, but we seek your cooperation in a matter of great import. Indeed, we appreciate you consulting with us instead of taking unilateral action. 'Tis no simple matter to activate the Tattle of Babel, and I speak not only of the technological challenges. Personally, I think we must consider the emotional impact of such an action above all else. Pending of more official name, we refer to those who remain here as the Garlean community. As you would expect, they are predominantly native Garleans, many of whom are uncomfortable with etheric manipulation. To compound matters, the trauma inflicted by Amina is still fresh. If the tower were to suddenly light up again, it likely cause distress and reopen old wounds. Better than facing a mass invasion by goblins and Zavoids and hordes, surely. Of course, we acknowledge the gravity of the situation as well as the promised bloodshed, should we fail to act. Yet, even if we were to convey your warning to the public, many simply do not understand the workings of magic or the rift. They will struggle to comprehend why they must force to relive personal horrors for the sake of something they cannot imagine. What's there to imagine? Haven't these people seen Voidsent with their own eyes? Let's suppose you encounter someone who is freezing in this cold. A natural thing to do might be to make them a fire, yes? But what if this person's sole experience with fire was being badly burned by it and then harboring an acute fear? Despite the benefits, nay, the necessity of the warmth you offer, they may flee on instinct, or worse, misinterpret your actions for aggression and lash out. So like the fire that torments this individual, the Tower Babel torments the people of Garlemald. Yet we cannot afford to falter here. We must find a way to help them overcome their fear. I agree. To that end, the contingent will assist however we can. We should speak of Alphanon and LSA. With the rapport they have established with the Garlean people, I dare say they can provide us with valuable insights. In the meantime, Yorn J, may I ask you to remain here to oversee the technical aspects of the tower's activation. Oh, did I go the... I think I went the wrong way entirely. Just gonna fly right out of here. So we're actually getting pretty close to the end of the patch story that we can currently access, because 6.5 isn't out, and that's going to be the end point of this storyline, I'm assuming. But in the meantime, we also have the normal raid set, which I believe is finished now that 6.4 is out. And the Alliance raids are still unfinished until 6.5 comes out, so I'll probably wait on that one. And then we didn't get really a trial story set for this. We got like some dungeons, like variant dungeons or something like that. So we'll probably peek into those as well, I imagine. Oh, they're underneath. What do I... I was like wondering why aren't they at the bottom of this mountain? I'm glad to see you, Narn. V tries to explain our present dilemma. Just no fun and concerned that the Guardians may take poorly to the reactivation of the Tower of Babel. That's putting it mildly. Many would be up in arms over it. Trust in the Ismore contingent is fragile enough. We need to tread lightly. We risk jeopardizing everything we've achieved. Trust again. Well, it seems to me there's not for us but to speak with the people. Rather than harping on about the necessity of the plan, we need to lend an ear to their concerns, then perhaps we can begin working towards a compromise. In that case, I'll take you to meet the community leaders. They're at a station called Snetus, near the Siliculum Imperialis. I'd be honored to speak with them, though it would be prudent to learn where people elsewhere stand as well. Then I'll leave the others, save Zero. Might you accompany me? I'm sure those in Tapper's Den will have their own opinions. Alpha knew if I may drag you along. To Tiram we leave to you. You're no stranger to the people here, so it should take a little prodding to convince them to speak freely. That's settled. Once you've learned what you can, let's all meet and form Solis, where we'll have what I hope is a productive discussion. Yeah, we have quite a few people to talk to here. No, stop it. The tower is evil. It'll turn us all evil. I don't want to hear it. Leave me alone. Well, that's not going to go well. Fifi, the tower isn't right, I tell you. All those magics. Years ago, when I lived in the provinces, the locals razed our village to the ground with the stuff. Made things appear and disappear and fly and burn. Can still see it when I close my eyes. You've done us a good turn, dear, but let's not talk about that tower any longer. It's unnatural. It's looking like somebody's in here, maybe? No. Activate the Tower of Babel? Are you out of your mind? That abomination transformed my friends and families into monsters. I can't even bear to look at it whenever I step outside. If you want to do something for us, tear the bloody thing down. Oh, there's somebody there. The Tower of Babel. What's it got to do with Voidsent? I can't say I understand. Still, your people have done much and more for us Garlinians. If you say it's necessary, then it's good enough for me. Whatever its present state, the Imperial Palace was once the pride of Galamad. I mean no disrespect to you and yours, but shouldn't the Garlean people be its caretakers instead of foreigners? Though if we dare speak thus to some of the contingent, they may make assumptions, cut our rations, or worse. No, forget I said anything, please. That was unfortunate turn of events. 4 out of 5 people had negative feelings towards it. Only one guy was like, yeah, you say it's important, so yeah, go ahead and do it. Just that one guy. Julius is on his way with the others. I hope you found the people more receptive than we did. Nora, may I present you to Lords Nias and Medius, magistrates of our political council. They have been spearheading the efforts to establish a new system of government here. When we raised the subject of the Tower Battle, they insisted that we speak no further until joined by representatives of the Elsborg contingent. I see Alphano and Alize have yet to arrive, though so perhaps we should wait. It doesn't matter if only some of you are present, we simply wish to make one thing perfectly clear. The Tower is the manifestation of Garlean ingenuity and authority. It was once the abode of the Imperial family. It will forever bear tremendous cultural significance. It's insulting enough that we had to suffer foreigners occupying it under the guise of rendering aid, and now you propose reactivating it. Nay, we've had enough. The Galamad of old may have fallen, but she fell in civil war to her own people, not to Eorzea nor any other land. We came here to assert our unavoidable claim to the territory. Galamad and all that lies within her bounds is beholden to no one. Well, that could have gone better. Since their excellencies are resolved to negotiate with the contingent, I'll export him to Cerealium. I'll also instruct Alphanon and Alize to meet us there. Lord Mentius, Lord Nanias, by your leave, my comrades and I would speak with the residents of Senatus. Though the Elsborg contingent holds the Tower of Babel, it is I who wishes for it to be reactivated, and thus I think it meet that I be present for this discussion. Yet my understanding of your people's hardships, of their hopes and desires, of their dreams for the future is also sorely lacking. In my ignorance, I would struggle to contribute. Lest you worry, I will not plead our case to the community in your absence. I wish only to identify common ground, upon which we might build a relationship to see us overcome our differences. Very well, but know that the guards will not hesitate to escort from the premises should you judge your actions to be inappropriate. If it's settled, then, you should all head to Senatus. I'll join you there after I see their excellencies safely to Terrarium. Interesting lot, those. Wow, we're going pretty far out here, huh? We're going so far out here, we're discovering new locations. Here it is, Sonatus, a temporary refuge for political dignitaries, hence the tight security. I'm given to understand that outsiders are not normally permitted so much as a glimpse inside. We should consider ourselves fortunate to be given this opportunity. Hope it'll be worth the trouble. As do I, Zero, as do I. To begin, I propose we split up and ask the residents for their views on the Ilzabar contingent and the current state of affairs. We should also do well to learn more about this enclave itself. Should you observe anything of note, pray keep in mind. It's through open hearts and open minds I believe we yet convince their leaders to work with us for the greater good. Oh, there's somebody behind me, apparently. Or no? Oh, okay, I guess I have to check this first. The stockpile of assorted supplies bears markings indicating they were provided by the Ilzabar contingent. The Enclave is clearly reliant upon the Alliance for aid. You wanna know what I think? I'm a soldier. I try not to think about politics at all. I'll say this much. Our leaders labor to preserve our culture, our way of life. Remains of it, at any rate. Trust them to do what's best for Garlemald. You recognize the large cast as the very same you and your comrades used to transport Solium from Lapis Melanius. Why they are in Senetis is unclear. How do I feel about the contingent? Conflicted, to say the least. I've been tasked with the distribution of supplies, and I know as well as any that we couldn't survive outside aid. Be that as it may, even though the Empire's collapsed, we have our pride. The people don't want to be beholden to others forever, and there's no denying that it chafes to see our benefactors occupying the Imperial Palace. Finished touring the Enclave, have you? Were you able to learn? What were you able to learn? Much the same as me, then. They accept the contingent's help out of necessity and harbor a measure of resentment. They have only themselves to blame. If they don't like the bargain, they should reject it. How many times must I tell you, it's absolutely out of the question. What's going on? We were wondering the very same. We came running when we heard shouting. Is aught the matter? Oh no, I was just trying to explain. Mayhap you can clear this up. The contingent has made a reasonable request, but this man insists that it's impossible. It concerns the magic-type weapons that run rampant through Regio Miasmia. Every time we deliver supplies here, we have to dispatch extra men to defend against potential attacks. To address this issue once and for all, we propose the elimination of all Machina that are near the supply route, but you heard them, they refused to even consider it. The magistrates have already spoken on this matter. Rampant or no, those more Machina are Garlean assets. Furthermore, who's to say they are as dangerous as you attest? It has been suggested that this could be the pretense to scavenge Magitech material for your own ends. I know not if that is the case, but the fact remains we cannot allow you to destroy them. More speculation by the magistrates, I presume. Ridiculous, but they have spoken. Unless we want to inflame the tensions further, there's naught we can do. How complicated relations become when not grounded in a clear and equitable arrangement. An equitable arrangement, of course. Well, I do understand the difficulty of your position. As a soldier, you must do your duty and obey your superiors. I have an idea, but I must speak of Commander Lucia. May I take charge of this matter? By all means. Let's return to Camp Broken Glass, where we might discuss a solution I believe will satisfy all parties. Alright, let's go ahead and head on back out then. In fact, it'd probably be a little bit quicker just to teleport over there, so... Welcome back, all of you. I pray there have been positive developments in your efforts to appeal to the Garlean community. Mayhap not yet, but there is a method by which I believe all stand to gain. As satrap, I intend to propose a trade agreement between Razahan and the people of Garlemald. Please continue. People of this nation have lived through its collapse and more, yet they have chosen to remain, for it is their home. That they have been able to survive thus far is thanks to the Ismar contingent, or rather, in less flattering terms, they are entirely at your mercy. Despite your noble intentions, this one-sided relationship has fueled feelings of frustration and resentment. It is no surprise that some Galanians are loath to engage with foreigners, for fear of indebting themselves further, or surrendering more of their already limited autonomy. As a wish, I present them with an equitable arrangement. One that will restore to them a sense of agency after being forced to rely upon charity. Easier said than done. What exactly did you have in mind? Long have Garlemald and Razahan abided by a treaty of non-interference. Freely have we traded with one another, and I wish but to continue in this tradition. We will provide your people with such supplies as you require, in return for which you would grant us leave to use the Tower of Babel, as well as share your Radchik resources and expertise. As we become more reliant upon your technologies, we'll of course require more sterling to fuel them. This you possess in abundance, and for it you will be duly compensated. Razahan's culture will be enriched by your Radchik wonders, and our ever-increasing demand for your wares will see Garlemald grow wealthy and prospers. Only when both sides keep the interests of the other in mind can an amicable relationship be forged. It is a principle I once thought I understood, but I have come to appreciate all the more in recent days, thanks to the sage counsel of a friend from beyond the rift. Your Excellency, thank you for your careful consideration of Garlemald's future. Though I cannot speak for every Garlenian, I myself see no reason to reject your proposal. Indeed, if Razahan were to take the initiative, other nations may follow suit and seek to normalize trade relations with us. If you see the sense of my proposal that I ask you to join me in the negotiations at Thurium, your support may be instrumental in winning over Lords Nais and Medius. By all means, go with them. I have matters here well in hand. I have learned all that I may regard in the tower's operations, so I too shall hie me to Thurium. Alright. Yeah, I guess we could just teleport back there. A crowd may abroad, but numbers will not imitate us. The Tower Rebel is ours by right, so nothing you do will convince us otherwise. Rest assured, it is not our intent to infringe upon the rights of the people of Garlemald. Let us instead discuss the future. As the satrap of Razahan, I wish to establish a new trade agreement between our nations. The aid we presently receive will not last forever, my lord. Sooner or later we must stand on our own 2 feet. But to do so, we must secure a means to replenish our coffers. The proposed agreement presents a rare opportunity. 'Tis true we do not want for Magitek and Ceruleum, and foreign currency will be needed to procure such things as we lack. It would depend on the precise terms, but I can see the merits. What? I can't believe what I'm hearing. You served the Emperor. You were a proud patriot. Yet now you're entertaining selling national resources like a common merchant? Like you, we for what we have lost, but if we are to rebuild Garlemald, we must make use of what precious few assets remain to us. Nonsense, utter nonsense. You are a traitor, Nias, and there will be a reckoning. Oh yes, when the people of Senetis learn of this, they will cry out for your blood. Lord Midius, wait, it isn't safe out there. An embarrassing display. A man amid his station should have the capacity to keep his motions in check. It's far too dangerous for a civilian to be outside alone. We must go after Lord Midius. Let us leave matters here in Maximus' care while the rest of us join in the search. If Lord Midius is bound for Senetis, we may be able to catch up to him in Reggio Umbramessa. I pray he has not come to any harm. Guy's gonna end up riddled with bullets, from all the Magitek out there just going crazy. Wait, where am I at currently? Yeah, I'm at Tyrium, so it should be up here, right? Yeah. I was just confused. It was so dark over here that I didn't see the entrance. Oh, this guy got far already. Sheesh. Nice. I'm alive?
Praise the sisters, you are safe.
Don't think I'm indebted to you. I never asked for your help. You love Garlemald dearly, Lord Metius. That much is plain. But you're not alone in that. We all mourn what has become of our homeland. Bristle at having to rely upon outsiders simply to survive the cold. Even now, I struggle with fear and uncertainty. Day after day, I ask myself, what is right? Where do we go from here? I've yet to find the answers. But I won't stop looking nonetheless. And I won't avert my gaze from our grim reality.
Is there hope for us?
Aye. So long as we live. Garlemald lies in ruins, but the bonds between us will never be broken. We are the chain that connects generations past and future. You and I, it's links. Help us, Lord Metius, for all we have been and for what we may yet become. Please.
To be lectured by the young man, it ill becomes a man of my station. I will rejoin the talks at Tertium. Might I trouble you to escort me? Ere we part, I apologize for my discourtesy. I owe you my life, and I thank you.
Ulyss, wait. I'd like a word. With you as well. I'm to stay close, after all.
Worry not, we shall see the magistrate safely back to Tertium.
What is it?
You bound that man with trust, didn't you? That's why he did not require coercion to return.
Shall we walk, perhaps? Chilly, standing around here. So that's how Zero came to join you. Still, I'm not sure I'm qualified to explain something like trust. I wouldn't describe myself as a sociable person. Before all this, any free time I had, I spent looking after my brother and sister. As for the magistrate, I only told him what's been on my mind of late. But I wouldn't have done so, I think, if it weren't for the twins' influence. Trust is infectious, in a manner of speaking. When someone believes in you, it makes you want to believe in them, in others, in yourself. Perhaps it's because the magistrate felt that earnestness that he gave us a chance. As I did, after I was caught trying to steal provisions from the enemy. Trust comes easy in such company.
Little wonder my world is devoid of it. No one trusts in you, and so you trust in no one. and round the wheel turns. During the Contra Memoria, we had already come to judge one another based on strength and usefulness. You either used or were used. Those who rejected this rule didn't survive. My mother wanted to save the world, to fulfill the hopes of Memoria's good and true. After she died, I carried on her mission alone.
Alone? Didn't you have anyone to help you?
Almost. 2 men tried just the once. A swordsman and a mage, whom I met when passing through a village. They had saved the people there from corrupted Memoriates. When they learned our enemies were the same, they seemed heartened. They claimed to be soldiers of a kingdom called Baron, and were traveling the realm in search of a means to end the Contra Memoria. They invited me to join them. I refused. How could I not, having learned the lessons of my world? Those who would work with others always have their own motives. I would not place myself at their mercy. I would not be forced to submit. I expected some manner of outburst, some show of frustration at having failed to deceive me. But they simply watched me walk away. I didn't know what to make of it then, but now... Perhaps they shared a bond of trust. Perhaps they were the last ones left who dared. Perhaps they hoped I was like them, too. Perhaps it was just an offer, and nothing more. I continued fighting alone. But ultimately, I was undone. Overwhelmed by enemies that had banded together. I was cold, in pain, wishing desperately that someone would save me. And as I lay there in solitude, I felt it happen. The breaking of our world. Darkness washed over me, and I was swept into the rift. When I finally managed to return, it was to a world forever transformed. My home, now filled with abominations. I had a chance to learn about trust, and forsook it. I never had the power to save my home single-handed. I should have accepted their invitation. Had I joined them as I've joined you, I might not have had to face the end of the world alone. But it's all history now. No amount of reflection or regret will change our present reality.
Whatever may have happened in the past, you're still here, Zero. Alive. So long as you're alive, there will always be hope, no matter how bad things get. What you couldn't do yesterday, you might still do today. Think about it. It's plain that you've forged bonds with those around you. If you didn't feel that in some sense, would you have risked your life as you did for a meager ration of boots? I trust you too, for what it's worth.
Here it is again. The fire that burned in my breast when you came to my rescue. The urge to weep, though there is no sorrow. If this is trust, then what must I do? How do I answer it?
However you like.
Give me your hand. It's not something you do constantly, mind. A friend is a friend regardless.
A friend. So that's what it means. Someone you trust.
Thank you. I feel at last as though I found the answers I sought, and I owe it all to you and Julius. Right then, I expect the others have already arrived back at Tertium. We should join them. Full glad I am to see everyone return, none the worse for wear. Various representatives of the Garlean community have gathered here at this very moment. I dare say this is a fine opportunity to announce the trade agreement. You've read the memoriam. I trust you find the terms acceptable. I do, and Naris, I pray you forgive me of a disgraceful conduct earlier. I'm ashamed that not only my behavior, but placing the burden of negotiations solely on your shoulders in my absence. You should know that when we brought up the subject of the tower's reactivation to the people of Trapper's Den, some reacted quite strongly. Once we explained that it would be to prevent another Voidsent invasion, however, they were more receptive. It's fair to say the recent episode is still fresh in their minds. I tagged along to deliver a supply of Syaoranvee. I have to say I didn't expect to see such a huge crowd. Even the stuffy Imperials who normally keep to themselves in Stantis are here. Ahem, my friends and countrymen, lend me your ears. I am pleased to inform you all of this joyous occasion that we, the people of Garlemald, have entered into a trade agreement with Razahan. To inaugurate our accord, we intend to grant the individuals before you access to the Tower of Babel. In return, Razahan will provide us with supplies, which shall be equally distributed amongst the settlements in our nation. Let me be clear on one point, this is not an act of charity, but trade. A bargain struck between equals, rooted in trust and respect, and it marks a significant step towards rebuilding our nation and regaining true independence. Razahan holds Garlean technology and ingenuity at the highest esteem. It is my hope that through this agreement, our people will enjoy a mutually beneficial relationship for years to come. Now then, we bid you gather round to hear the particulars, that you might convey them to those elsewhere. So burdened by hardship and trauma were the people of Garlemald that they were unable to imagine a brighter future. To be recognized as equals as a nation of something of value to offer to others, that validation alone is enough to rekindle their hope. It is by virtue of this partnership that we may access the Tower of Babel, a rather timely development given the ether tank's impending arrival. Once the tower's stores have been replenished, we need but wait Y'shtola's signal to channel the energy to the moon, yes? Then you can leave that and everything else on this end to me and Alphino. No need to worry, devote all your energies to the mission in the Void. As ever, I'm in your debt. You are good friends.
Let us take a moment to review matters as they stand. Having procured sufficient stores of ether, we may now channel the requisite energy unto the moon via the Tower of Babel. Our work on the star is complete. However, we have yet to receive word from Y'shtola as to the state of the lunar preparations.
A ritual to open the gate, and measures to forestall a void-sent invasion. Neither task is simple nor quickly completed. She would doubtless benefit from our assistance.
The very thing I was about to propose. Let us join her above and lend what aid we may. Ere we set forth, however, Y'shtola did bid me relay a message to thee. As thou art well aware, a key objective of our mission is the extraction of thy sister Azhdaya from the Void. Held captive for millennia and divested of an eye, she is like to be severely weakened. To make good her escape, she shall require aid. Aid that is best provided by a fellow Great Worm.
You would have me go in my true form. Very well. Like our sire, we Great Worms are capable of traversing the Great Expanse. The journey will take some time, but I shall take myself to the moon. To begin with, I shall return this vessel to Radzat-Han, that I may have both my eyes. And until such time as we find Azhdaya, I would entrust her eye to your keeping. Will you do this for me?
As long as it doesn't go all corrupt on us.
We shall contact you via Link Pearl once all is in place on the moon. You need but follow Y'shtola's instructions.
Understood. We'll be ready.
Take care, Zero.
It will be the briefest of homecomings. I'll be back before you know it.
In mare elementorum, then. Go well.
I'll be really curious to see how Zero turns out after these patches, because my first assumption, considering she had her own domain and everything, is that she'd eventually go back to the Void and essentially try and help fix things on that side with her newfound knowledge and whatnot, but it sounds like she's more wanting to stay in the Source, so maybe she'll become a active character like the rest of the Scions and other people we've met that stayed with the Scions and whatnot, like Estinian. Where am I going again? Oh yeah, that's right, okay. Okay, I picked the right one. It's actually been quite some time since I've been back here on the moon. There's not a whole lot to do otherwise down here.
I took the liberty of informing Ishtola of our arrival. She and her entourage should be here momentarily.
Forgive me. I'd hoped to have everything in order sooner. My thanks for the extra hands.
Alphino and Alice stand ready at the Tower of Babel. Vritra is also en route.
Excellent. You've done well, all of you. For my part, I've managed to prepare the ritual with help from the Watcher. All that remains is to channel the ether from below. This should, I pray, open a gate leading to the moon of the 13th.
May I just say how excited we are to be a part of this grand undertaking. The development of the artificial Atomos was one thing, but this is an opportunity like no other. Ishtola even managed to get a loan of elegant treatises on void sense summoning from the prized collection of the Sons of Saint Koinak. The Empire's application of etherochemistry in regulating void gates provided us with many a useful insight for our work, let me tell you.
I asked a favor of Grahatir when we were comparing notes on cross-rift travel. Given his credentials, I was confident he wouldn't be denied. The knowledge of our forebears has brought us far, as has our own. And with our knowledge and resources, we shall construct a void-sent containment seal on a heretofore unseen scale.
Containment seal? Then thou wouldst make use of...
Aye, a tried and tested means of holding dark entities at bay is readily available here. 'Twould be remiss of us not to employ it. We shall reforge the brands that Xenos and Fandaniel destroyed. That which held even Zodiac shall more than suffice for void scent of any persuasion.
The Watcher is already hard at work, tending to the most critical parts of the brand's restoration. There are, however, a number of concerning factors that remain. With your help, I'm sure we can resolve them.
Time is of the essence, so I suggest we continue this discussion as we make our way to the brands.
All right. So I'm kind of assuming the moment we get access into the void again, it's probably going to be time for the trial for this patch. There's still like a bunch of like dark energy going on here, whatever this is. Now then, to the matter at hand. With the Watcher's assistance, we shall reforge each of the Zodiac's brands, using them to erect a barrier capable of repelling void scent. Yet though we expect to be effective against larger beings on account of its original purpose, there's a chance it will allow lesser void scent to slip through. Therefore, we shall require a second line defense, and I believe the Lawpirates' supporters will be suitable for this purpose. You and Jay Nar, and the two of you have a strong rapport for our lunar allies. I would have you meet with Limingway and Bestwaite's Burrow and provide any assistance they require. I will join you, as a void scent my knowledge may be of use. An excellent idea. In the meantime, the rest of us will see to reforging the brands. I'll send word when we have finished. Pray do the same. Let's take a look down here while we go across. Yeah, isn't this like energy though? That's what I would assume. Alright, we're just about there. That's not the entrance. Oh, the entrance down below, I think, isn't it? It has been forever since I've been in this zone. Oh wait, no, that's showcasing upwards. Okay, so right here. There you are, you still surprise me of your present undertaking. I understand that she wishes to deploy our pride and joy, the veritable carrots of our eye. Our unrivaled combat supporters, as a precautionary measure in case the void scent containment seal first proves lacking. As we speak, my fellows are rounding up what units they can, and we'll bring them to the northeast corner in short order. Please wait here. Or wait there, I should otherwise say. There's definitely somebody else here doing the same exact quest as I am.
Dreadfully sorry to have kept you all waiting. Hello there, friends. A new person. Heard there was a bit of a rush, so we gathered what combat-ready supporters we had available.
A welcome contribution. Thine initiative never ceaseth to amaze.
Oh, stop! You're making me blush! Though we have fulfilled the purpose given to us by Heidelin, aiding the people of Aetheris remains our greatest joy. So you can count on us, ever and always. Right, so, we originally deployed these supporters to patrol the moon and keep it safe. They've never tussled with Voidsent before, but with sufficient data, they ought to hold their own against the ghastly fiends. Practical, tactical data acquired in the moment, and who better to give the supporters an educational thrashing than the champion of Aetheris?
I believe I would make a better instructor. Not only have I fought Voidsent, I am one.
Just stand there. Engage! 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 Engage!
That'll do, that'll do! A defeat bitterer than the bitterest carrot. Using this experience, we must enhance the supporters and turn them into Voidsent slaughterbots! Indeed. Right after we've managed to put the poor dears back together.
Pray forgive our comrade's enthusiasm. May I inquire as to how long the repairs will take?
On an ordinary day, I'd say no less than 5 carrots briskly consumed. But if you were to provide us with encouragement, we just might be able to do it in 2.
This I leave to you.
It's always something with these rabbits. Operates' eyes twinkle with the anticipation they await your buoyant exhalation. To wit, they learn for you to rally their spirits. Oh, thank you very much. You don't know how uplifting it is to have you encouraging us. I mean, showing us the proper techniques so we may keep our supporters operating at peak efficiency. With you cheering me on, I can do not less than my very best. I forgot they did let low tune sometimes. What a marvelous feeling. There's nothing like wild gestations of encouragement to fire you up. What engage? Engage. Oh, sorry, I was in the midst of. Forgive me. The sight of precision parts is strangely soothing and sleep-inducing. I'll try to keep moving. Why, everyone is in high spirits indeed. Thanks to your encouragement, we'll have the supporters up and running again in no time at all. Pray tend to your remaining busy work and leave the deployment of our new improved void scent slaughter bots to us.
Can you hear me? We've just finished restoring the brands. Let us reconvene once you've finished tending to matters there. The culmination of our efforts is nigh.
Alright. Brands are ready, I presume. Excellent. With the operators having deployed their supporters, we're ready to proceed. Let us rejoin Yustola post-haste and prise open our gate onto the void. Honestly, don't know if it'd be quicker to just teleport to the other spot and go from there, or go from here. I think this was the door, right? I think. We'll find out here in a moment. No, it's not. It's probably the one closer to getting out of here, I assume. Closer to the quest marker, I mean. Yeah, this is the way. Okay. Do you know the way? Okay, it looks like they're right at that one over there, where I'm straight pointing to. Discovering a new location. My thanks for seeing to the supporters. With this, all is in readiness for the ritual. First, I shall give the order to Alphna and Alizade and the Talar Babel to channel the ether to the moon. Once we have amassed a sufficient amount of energy, Yaranjai and I shall begin our incantations to open a void gate. If all goes well, terror will form in the fabric of reality, at which point you must activate the brands and put it in place to containment seal. That is all. If there are no questions, let's begin.